The goal of this video is to be the absolute simplest guide on the internet, period, on how to create a clone of your voice or somebody else's voice and put it into an AI model so that it can write exactly like you. As I said, this is going to be the absolute simplest way to get the best clone of voice possible with the most detail, with the least amount of effort. So a lot of nice things are combining there. So we're going to be using Notebooklm. It's absolutely incredible. If you've never seen this, used it, know what it is, don't worry, I'm going to explain it all in this video. It's really dead simple. So you can think of Notebooklm as the way to like amalgamate or combine tons and tons and tons, hundreds and hundreds, if you'd like, of sources together, and then have the AI use all of that as context to pull from it and create incredible things. Now you may be thinking, well, Claude has this feature and like regular Gemini has this feature with gems or GPTs uploading files as context for the AI to pull data from. Well, you're right, this is similar. However, the real power here comes with this studio section. So if I upload a source, so for example, click upload source, you can see all the supported file types. There's really every file type under the sun. So you can link a website or a YouTube video, right? So if I go to YouTube and I don't look up YouTube, I look up Eli Calusi. I go to my new, Google just dropped their new Flows platform. I go to my newest video, copy the URL, go back, click on link, YouTube, paste this, hit enter. You'll see it's transcribing the YouTube video. It takes just a couple seconds. You can see the check mark, which means it's enabled. And you can see this transcript offers an enthusiastic review of the new Google Flows platform. So that, which is, exactly what the YouTube video is about. So you can see that it successfully grabbed the context. Then if you click on it, you can see the thumbnail here and the entire transcript. So it's really, really crazy. And then you can just remove the source, rename the source, delete the source. But then in this main chat here, you can see one source. So it shows how many sources you're accessing. And then you can ask it a question. What was this video about? What were the main takeaways from this video? Etc. Right? Pretty simple. And now that's kind of the standard utility we've seen in the past with just a ton of tools. However, what's insane about this is you have all of these options over here. Audio overview, video overview, mind map, reports. So let me show you now a video that I created using just this one source by just clicking video overview, clicking the pencil, choosing a style and hitting generate. Take a look at this video. So just from my one source and no prompt, it generated a 5-minute and 20-second video with slides, all AI generated on my YouTube video.
All right, let's talk about Google's new platform, Flows. This thing is designed to be the absolute simplest way to automate your work inside the Google tools you already use. And believe me, it is already making some serious waves. And I'm not kidding about those waves. I mean, look at, and their solution. There's no complicated setup. Bam.
So you can see the quality
Pretty cool,
here.
Right? Now that same power is just in Close Out, scours the web, and delivers a...
Like, insane. So hopefully now I've kind of changed your mind, if it needed changing in the first place, on the power of a tool like this and why you need to be paying attention to Notebooklm. It is literally the future. It is absolutely insane. And I haven't even touched all these other ones. They're absolutely incredible. So with that being said, now that you know a little bit about why you should pay attention to Notebooklm, why you should learn this tool, and why you should be utilizing it basically every single day, because realistically, 99% of the population has a Gmail. They can access this tool. Let's get into the reason you all came here in the first place and actually create this tone of voice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this source just so we can start with a blank canvas. Next step in this process, we're going to go to an application called LM Studio. LM Studio is a completely free application you can download for Mac and Windows, where you can run basically any open source model you'd like. It's very similar to Ollama. Same idea, you download it and then you download the local model directly onto your hardware or onto your computer. And then you can run it entirely for free as much as you want because it's running on your computer. The only thing that will restrict you from getting better and better outputs and asking it like a ton of questions is the capability of your hardware. That's literally it. So you can see here, I have DeepSeek R1. However, it's very simple to interact with, and it gives you very uncensored answers, which is exactly what we're looking for here, because this exact prompt that I'm going to paste in here, you can take a second, read it. OpenAI won't answer this because it doesn't allow you to clone voices or copy people. So that's why we're using an open source alternative that is completely off grid, if you will, and completely free. It's really, really cool. So you can see here, I want to copy 3 people's styles and merge them into one like mega style. So that's going to be Charlie Morgan, Dan Koh, and Matt Gray. I just think they're all incredible writers. I'm going to change C to a K for Dan Koh, make sure that gets it right, even though it would have. So they're all incredible writers, and I really like their work. And I think that a combination of all of them would be really awesome. So let's send this off. DeepSeek is a thinking model. So you can see its chain of thought here. You can see it thinking through the prompt. We're going to close that because it kind of makes me freak out watching that sometimes. And then we'll come back when that's finished. All right, beautiful. So it started here with the core task. It has the style component deep dive starting with Charlie, unique style of Matt Gray, going to him, key characteristics, then breaking down Dan Koh right here. So once we have this kind of core system prompt, okay, nice, combining, amazing. All right, so this is a nice, long, detailed prompt with some sections that I really like. And I think that while this could maybe be optimized, that's not necessarily why we're here. This is the easiest tutorial on YouTube, or so I claimed, and it needs to be easy. So let's just grab it, slap it right into Notebooklm after it's done generating. And that is one thing you'll notice about these local models is that since they aren't powered by an insanely massive supercomputer somewhere with 10 million NVIDIA GPUs, it is a little bit slower. So that is one trade-off here. Okay, so I actually need to say make it half as long while keeping all the same details and main points because it was actually too long to go into this deep research. All right, beautiful. So now our prompt is quite a bit shorter and it fits because we can see this beautiful little kind of like purpley blue button. Make sure it's on deep research and web, and then we are just going to hit run right there. So you will need to stay on the page for just a second because it says planning, please stay on the page. This is when the server is so our computer is requesting this deep research from Google servers, but then after the request has gone into the queue successfully on their end, it will change to feel free to leave and planning. So then you can move around, do other things, and do other tasks while this is finishing up. So another way that you could do this is by going to ChatGPT, for example, and putting that onto deep research or to like extended thinking mode, and then going to add sources. You can go to link website and you can paste in all the URLs here. You just say only output URL sources in a neat list. And then it will give you all the URLs, and hopefully it's like 10 or more, all the things that these people have touched, like articles from Matt, Charlie, and Dan. And then you can just paste those websites right into here. That is another way to get the context that is arguably quicker. However, I just wanted to show you natively all in this platform how this workflow works. So you can see this one found 16 sources. You could easily go through and just drop in a ton of videos of like Charlie's videos, Matt's videos, and Dan's videos. However, I think this will suffice just a couple. Now, once we've done that, which we have, okay, so now in this main chat, I'm going to say create a highly specific writing style guide based on inputs from all 17 sources. Analyze their unique word choices, nuances, identifiers in their writing and speaking, and then from all this research, make a comprehensive guide that will act like as if all 3 of them had a baby and use all their styles from their content/writing. So now we'll send that off. It's going to look at all the sources here. All right, this is great. Yeah, this is really good. Amazing. So we're going to copy this. And then something else we can do, guys, right, is if we open up a new tab here, we can literally just go right on over to like Gemini, just because we're in Gemini. And we can go on over to gems right here. And then we can say new gem, give your gem a name, AI writer. description writes like Dan Co. And gray. Instructions, paste this entire thing right into here. Amazing. And then if you wanted to, you could double AI it and use Gemini to rewrite the instructions. And then from knowledge, we could just add like all of the files that we grabbed. However, that's not necessarily like 100% necessary, as we already have this kind of style guide in here. So I'm going to say, write me a X post on the dying art of being lazy. All right, I think this is a really good prompt actually, because this seems like a semi-controversial thing that perhaps like Dan would write a big post about, or Matt. This sounds a lot like Dan more than anyone else. This is really good, honestly. So you can see the quality of a piece of content like this. And then if you would go on over to Google Doc and paste this in, you can see it's in a nice format. There is 0 M dashes. So beautiful. So nice. And it sounds like really good. And I didn't even bring in all my sources. I could have gone and picked 5 videos from Matt, 5 videos from Dan, and 5 videos from Charlie, and dumped all of them in to my sources over in Notebook right here. So just add YouTube and then paste all the YouTube videos. And then I could have added that. And then the incredible thing is, right, from here, all you do is you go back on over here, you grab your content, you go back over to here, you paste it in, and then you just say, output this as is, don't change anything. And now the only reason I went over to a gem, guys, right, just initially, is because you can save this and then you can share this with people. So you can have this shared around. You can create these for your team. You can use this exact philosophy to help your team pull from writers that they really admire and create these gems that you can distribute internally within your company. That's the real kind of power here. But then just say that so I just pasted this in and then I said, output this as is, don't change anything. So what you can do is you can go to here and you can just have, so you have this, and then you can just make it a slide deck or an infographic or flashcards, or like just something like just so cool that will be another creative resource that you can share internally or externally, post on something. So that's the video, guys. I just wanted to share this with you and show you that this is very possible to do. The technology is easier than ever to leverage today to turn your laziness or lack of motivation to write into this reason where you can pump out like tons and tons of content every single day. And then what you could do is you could also go on over to the Flows platform. This is just a little bit of extra sauce. So you're going over to Flows, which is a new Google Workspace thing that I just posted a video on. Go watch that video. So you could say on a schedule, choose a step, ask a gem, and then you can select a gem, AI writer, enter prompt, and you can say, write me a unique post on AI integration in business, in a business use case. And then I'll say SMB, agency, enterprise, enterprise government, and then, and make it semi-controversial. And then I'm just going to use web only. Actually, web workspace connected apps is fine. Ask a gem, so it's going to do this. then it's going to send an email, and the entire subject, or it's to, it's just going to be me. Subject is going to be AI post for LinkedIn. Content created by Gem is going to be the message, and I'm literally just going to turn this on. So now on a schedule, maybe I didn't set the time. Oh yeah, it's just going to be daily, actually. Daily at 8 a.m. It's going to send it to me. Turn on. Awesome. So now the content I've created through LM Studio has gone into Gemini, into my AI writer Gem, which has then gone into Google Flows. And I've created this super simple automation that will create unique posts in my tone of voice. So this is a full kind of Google Suite tutorial. This feels sponsored. It's not, but this is by far one of the easiest ways I found to actually accomplish this goal that everyone seems to be talking about. Everyone has different opinions on how to create a tone of voice using AI. This is dead simple. Trust me. Also, I found that Google actually writes a little bit better than ChatGPT these days. I don't like how the direction ChatGPT is going necessarily right now. It feels a little bit too censored. It feels a little bit too predictable at times. And their formatting is just getting old for me with the arrows and the massive M dashes. Like it's not appealing. And they're actively working on that. And they've said that, they're getting bad feedback from people. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. And if you have any questions, as always, Instagram, LinkedIn, message me, drop a comment on this video. I'm super easy, whatever works best for you. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.